Welcome back to Let's Read Joe Daver's Lone Wolf HD Remastered. When last we left off, we arrived too late at the village of Rockstone to save its inhabitants. There is no way to not arrive too late. That is set in stone. The last time I played through it, I went to the cautious path, didn't make it. This time we did the reckless path, and also didn't make it. So if there's a way to arrive and save someone, I don't think it is. I think it's story-based. Anyway, we killed the Giak, and now we are trying to get inside a warehouse. As a small annotation, I said this is a Let's Read adventure, so from now on the combat will be removed from the game. If you wish to experience the combat yourself, then you can get this game on Steam, and if you wish me to have the combat inside the combat in the video and comment on it, then feel free to leave a comment in that regard. We are making a stealth dexterity read-through, so to speak, not a playthrough. So I will pick trying to reach a large hole that you spotted at the front of the building. Oh no, we must do quick time events. Yeah, I know. So drag your mouse in the direction like this. Click when the circle is down and do this. It's very strange. Perhaps there's a mobile version. I did not check. With little difficulty, you climb the damaged front of the building and peer in through the gaping hole in the wall, directly above the main door. Below you can see the storage area of this general store, its goods and produce lights scattered everywhere. You sense the presence of Giaks, although you cannot be sure how many are lurking here. Then they scuttle into view. They are fighting over a leg of cured ham they have found. Roughly, they claw and shove each other as they struggle for possession of this haunch of meat. You watch as they come closer to the barred door. When they are below your position, you decide to use the element of surprise to your advantage. You leap down and attack them, catching them unawares. And I'll see you on the other side of this combat. Well, that was relatively okay. Sadly, I do not have as much power as of yet. I'm starting to notice that you basically want to play this game with as much intelligence as possible. That healing Kai is so worthwhile. But anyway, we have loot. We shall take it and keep reading. This was once a thriving general store, but now it lies in ruin, its structure badly damaged by fires that were started deliberately by the marauding Giaks. Much of its stock has also been looted or despoiled by these unwelcome invaders. A map of Rockstarn and the surrounding mountainous area hangs on the soot-blackened wall. This mining village is built on a plateau of rock overlooking the sunken forest. The entrance to its famous Bronin mines is located in the southeast part of the crater-like wall of rock that surrounds and contains the Wound Depression. You suspect that Bronin may have been the reason why the Giaks have attacked Rockstarn in force. You search through the debris that covers the floor, but there is little of value to be found. You're about to stop your search and leave the store, when behind the store's counter you discover something that sparks your curiosity. It is a large wooden chest, and it is locked. For the sake of showing off every single feature of the game once, there are also lock-picking minigames. If you've played a Bethesda game in your life, this is basically the thing. You move this around, choose a position, and then turn this one around. If it starts shaking, you are wrong, you have to move it again. It's pretty much that. If you move it too much, it breaks off. This one's relatively easy as it's the first one you'll ever do. They get a bit harder. They do have different graphics, which I really do appreciate, but we'll see. These ones are quick, so I'll leave them in. You manage to pick the lock and now the container lies in front of you. You look inside and find some valuable items that could prove useful. Knives, potion, leather, and bread. Lovely. When you leave the store and return to the main street, a gust of icy winds bites into the exposed flesh of your face, and the sudden chill makes you shiver. The winter sun is completely obscured by thick grey clouds, yet you are able to tell the time of day without its helpful presence. It's near day. moment. Apologies. Let's go. I have to click on it again, I forgot. You should refrain from continuing this. Oh, okay. I have to go back. Because I wish to meditate. This is a safe place to meditate, so let's do it. You can interrupt it with this button over here. This restores everything. Witcher style. Then again, I think this precedes Witcher by quite a bit, but then again, meditation is pretty much not an invention from the Witcher games. It's just, you know, something you do there a lot. And in fact, you don't actually do that to heal there. Oh well. You follow the main street, tense and alert, ever watchful for signs of human life and Giag raiders. Suddenly, the door of a nearby building is thrown open, and into the street pour a gang of Giaks, growling and waving their black-bladed weapons above their loathsome heads. You steel yourself for imminent combat, but your concentration is broken when you glimpse a humanism among their number. It is a girl, in her late teens, with short dark hair and sharp, sparkling eyes. Judging from her appearance and her clothing, she does not look like a typical rockstar villager. Whew, okay. So these two were not open to me last time I played. I can launch a Mind Blast against a distracted Giax, or I can use my camouflage skill and cautiously observe the girl. Well, from what I've been told, Giax are pretty evil, so why don't we just launch a Mind Blast? Oh dear, time for this. Whoosh. I'm focused. Oh, time to mash the mouse button. Go. Blub. I crushed the enemy. Oh, I didn't see that text. The Gears are so preoccupied with the girl that they fail they see you standing openly in the street nearby. Quickly, you seize the advantage and launch a psychic attack upon this closely grouped gang of enemies. The searing effect of your Mind Blast makes the Gears shriek with pain. You glance towards the girl and see that she has stopped momentarily. For a fleeting second, your eyes meet. In the blink of an eye, she opposes a small crossbow from beneath her cloak. It is unlike any crossbow you have ever seen before. It's a nice art of that particular lady. It also shows Giax being shot in the chest, but that didn't happen. She levels the strange crossbow at one of the Giax and sends a steel bolt straight between the creature's hateful eyes. Well, looks like it's happening now. She fires again and another Giak falls dead. Then another. The crossbow is reloading itself as fast as she can fire it. Quickly, she holsters her weapon and sprints across the street towards the cover and safety of an undamaged house on the far side. Your instinct is to follow her, for she is the first living human you have encountered so far. There are many questions you would like to ask her. Unfortunately, the break in your concentration gives the Giaks some reprieve from your psychic attack, and now their shrieks of pain have turned to cries of anger. You raise your weapon and rush towards them, eager to slay them all before they can fully recover from the effects of your Kai Mind Blast. Since I hit them with the Kai Mind Blast, I'm going to have a small advantage. I'll see you on the other side. Alright, yet another combat against 3 Giaks. Pretty standard, really. The tactics are basically the same. The combat is pretty much the same. It's just interesting to try to manage your resources and ultimately. But, well, the girl is nowhere to be seen. You focus your gaze on the houses opposite and detect fresh tracks leading towards the front door of the largest house. It has escaped the fire that has ravaged much of this area. And clearly, you can read the ornate sign fixed above the door. Redalion the Inventor. Stealthily, you approach the front door and twist its iron handle. It is locked. We can smash it open, or we can attempt to pick the lock, and we shall pick the lock because we're stealthy. Since these are short, I will keep them in. Same thing as before, as you can see now the lock looks different. It's nice. These are pretty simple, so... Nope. I say that and the lock tells me that it's not simple whatsoever. Click. An honorable thing breaking into someone's house. You hear the click of the lock opening and you reach for the door handle. One twist and it opens easily on its well-oiled hinges. Cautiously, you enter the open doorway and catch your first glimpse of the interior of Redallion's house. It is furnished with sturdy chairs and tables, all stacked high with blueprints of inventions, prototype clockwork devices, and tools of all kinds. Your eyes adapt quickly to the dark interior, and your ears detect the scurry of female feet shod in soft leather. From out of the shadows, the girl comes running towards you. "Who are you?" she demands to know. "I am Lone Wolf, and I'm your liege lord," you reply, taken aback by her impertinent tone. "And who are you?" "I am Leandra. Ian Redallion is my father." Leandra's voice is tense and irritable. It's as if she resents having to answer your simple question. It is not how the villagers should normally address their liege lord, and you assume she must be in a state of shock. "Thank you, my lord," she says, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "So gracious of you to visit your humble little village. Such a pity you arrived too late. Far too late." Her harsh words shock you into a stunned silence. You're a little unnerved by her disrespect and her belligerence. This will not stand. We're going to remain silent and ponder on the girl's irreverent manners. The girl becomes angry when you remain silent. Your stony expression greatly annoys her. Her sharp eyes blaze with resentment, and she launches herself at you in a fit of rage. She is very agile and full of fighting spirit, but she's no match for a Kai Lord. You grab her flailing arms and subdue her, but not before you receive a glancing blow from her right fist that bruises your chin. She stops struggling, you release her, and she takes a few steps backwards. She's still very upset, but at least she has managed to rein in her fiery rage. You try to reassure her that help is on the way. "I came as soon as I received word that you were in trouble. I've sent an urgent message to the king, and he will send troops here to deal with the Giaks. Of that you can be sure." The girl softens her harsh expression and nods her head, acknowledging your words of comfort, but she does not say anything in reply. You sense that she is not entirely convinced that what you say will come to pass. She goes to the front door and closes it before she says anything more. The girl goes and stands next to a latticed window at the front of the house. Anxiously, she peers into the street beyond. She is fearful that more Giaks will arrive soon and try to break into her house. You stand on the other side of the window and try to get her to talk to you. Together, you keep watch for marauding gangs of Giaks. After a few minutes of uneasy silence, finally she relents and tells you what has happened in Rockstar. She also tells you something about herself and her famous father. A large raiding party of Giaks, supported by Drakarim, attacked the village the day before yesterday. They gained entry into the village by the way of the large steam-powered elevator platform. This elevator is used to hoist wagons of Bronin ore and convey miners to the floor of the sunken forest. Rockstone was attacked during the day. From this fact you decided the raiders were not focused upon killing the townsfolk, since they launched their attacks at a time when the village was least occupied. Many of the villagers were down the sunken forest when the attack began, either working in the mines or gathering timber. These lucky ones have all since taken refuge in the mines, which may well be the safest place to be at present and certainly the easiest to defend. Unfortunately, the timing of the attack caught the most vulnerable villagers unawares and undefended. You recall the macabre sight that greeted your arrival, and a shiver runs down your spine. The armies of the Dark Lords are cruel beyond reason. They delight in murder and mayhem and know no other way. Leandra is unsure about precisely what the raiders came for, but she stayed behind to sabotage the elevator. She acted with the help of Tarlo, the village sheriff. By doing so, she would prevent the Giaks from pursuing and killing her kinsfolk before they could reach the sanctuary of the mines. She has since played cat and mouse with the Giaks, constantly moving and hiding to avoid being captured or killed. She tells you that she removed 3 essential parts of the elevator mechanism: the compression valve, the drive chain, and the control handle. She has one of the parts in her pocket. It is the compression valve. The other 2 parts are in separate locations of the village. Leandra tells you that Tarlo the sheriff has the control handle, and that she hid the drive chain in the foundry near to the ore smelting works, a large building located close to the cliff edge. Without these parts, the elevator is useless. The Giaks cannot return to the forest floor. They are trapped here. The cliff is steep and sheer and has 2 trenches to descend by rope. Leandra is anxious to rejoin her father and the others who are now hiding in the mines. Rockstone is far too dangerous a place for her to stay here any longer, but she is sorely aware that the only way down to the forest floor is by using the elevator. To do this, she must have all 3 of the missing parts so that she can refit them and get the elevator working again. Can ask about her skills or ask if she works as her father's assistant. Sure, let's have some more reading. You tell her that you are very impressed by the courage she has shown. Your compliment makes her smile, but only a little. It's the first time you've seen her relax since her stern expression. How have you been able to survive in a village full of enemies? You ask. Leandra's smile broadens. I followed my father's footsteps as an inventor, but my work is, how shall I say, less theoretical and more personal. She flicks back her cloak to reveal her holstered crossbow. I'm a crack shot with this. It's kept me out of harm's way so far. But now I have only a few bolts left. My ammunition is running out fast, and so too, I fear, is my luck. She reaches to a velvet pouch hanging from her leather belt. She clicks open its clasp and takes out a small metal cylinder which she hands to you. I think this compression valve would be better off in your safekeeping. Please keep it secure. Our lives may depend on it. You take the compression valve and store it carefully in your backpack. Leandra stares directly into your eyes and says, I am determined to join my father and my people in the mine. You have come here to pursue the raiders and avenge the destruction they have wrought, is that not so? If you help me, then I will help you. You're going to need a working elevator to reach the forest floor. Without it, you'll not be able to discover the reason for this attack. Leandra says, when the Giaks discovered that I had sabotaged the elevator, they were furious. In their blind rage, they vandalized the pump room and the boiler house. I must go there and make good any damage to the pump and boiler. It's no good replacing the missing parts if there's nothing to power the elevator. And while you're taking care of that, I shall search for the missing parts. Oops, that was me. You reply. Leandra nods her approval. Remember, she says, Sheriff Tarler has the control valve and the drive chain hidden in the foundry. I had little chance to hide it properly. There were 2 Giaks chasing me, as I recall. I threw it among some other chains that were lying on the floor. It's very different to these chains. It's smaller and it's well oiled. The foundry chains are dry and have much better links. Very good. This will help me find the parts, you reply. Your immediate tasks are now clear. You must find Sheriff Tarler and retrieve the control handle, and you must go to the foundry and find the drive chain. That is the end of this section of the chapter. We are getting some strength and some dexterity due to our actions that we have performed, I'm pretty sure. And we shall proceed to find the parts to fix the elevator in the next one. Thanks for joining me.